Hi friends, I hope you're doing really well, and I want to talk about the high price, the high cost involved with fear-based eating. So you might know what I'm talking about, which is when that fear arises and we're starting to maybe eat with more permission to eat, when we stop dieting, when you're trying to differentiate yourself. I call it unglue yourself from I have a difficult internal emotion or sensation inside, and we're trying to witness it versus kind of grab or over or under grab for food to change our state. The high cost of doing business is that if our cognitive minds are having a hard time believing that our mitochondria, our cells, don't know how inherently. Now, I'm not saying that we don't have maybe some disruptions that have to be worked with some, maybe some medical nutrition support, whatever. But inherently, our bodies know how to ingest and digest food and do what it needs to do with that. I mean, I know there's conditions, but we're talking about inherently. When we kind of stay with the belief that we have to micromanage our food, basically out of fear of rejection, whatever it is, if we stick with this belief that our bodies won't ever stop eating XYZ, or will never eat XYZ perceived healthy food again, or if we eat normally, our bodies will never stop gaining weight, what you're doing is inviting, I think sometimes more judginess and pushiness and bracing and shaming back into your life, when really what you're trying to do is get the freedom that you really desire. So I guess in this video is just to remind you, I didn't even introduce myself. I just want to jump right in, is that I think we have to allow some space. So there's a very, very high cost of eating in a fear-based way, is that you never get a chance to learn inherently that your body's on your side, that you can use the capacity and energy you have in your life to do other things besides try to micromanage your food and your body and all those things. And that we know inherently that if you're constantly living in a state of fight, flight, freeze, or please, all the things that you may be trying to do with your food and your health and your weight are really going to be like a drop in the bucket against all that threat response. So, trying to eat all your fruit and vegetables or not, or whatever you're doing that is being done in a fear-based kind of way, doesn't really stand too much of a chance from a percentage perspective of helping a body in fight, flight, freeze, or please. So in this video, it's just an encouragement to consider the high cost of fear-based eating. And when I say fear-based, I mean emotionally overeating, emotionally undereating, not taking some time to really settle into is that approach best for me? And I've tried similar approaches before, and what makes me think this will work differently. And so it's just a high cost. And literally the high cost is more looping, doing a thing, kind of coming around at some point, whether months or years later, to recognizing it's not what it promised. And if we don't slow down to see it for what it is, we get sucked back in. And what our systems really need is to orient to the bigger picture of what is actually most important. Is it really about getting your food perfect, or getting your body the way you think it should be compared to XYZ version of you from however many decades ago, or what somebody else thinks the ideal is? When we continuously trying to control everything with our minds and disassociate from the neck down, we do kind of operate out of fear. All right. So, and I know those fears are tied to the past, tied to future threat, have some legitimacy to it. Some of it's just more of a black and white way of looking at things. But regardless of what it is, please take some time today, rewatch the beginning of this video, and try to understand what is motivating the fear. That way you actually have some agency with your food, with your health, being more comfortable in the skin you're in. So thanks for watching this video, and we look forward to continuing to support you, and have a great day. Bye for now.